All right.
Nice.
So, we were going to talk about the OGL being entered into Creative Commons, but honestly, what else is there to say? The little guys stood up to the big guys. Normal people fought against evil corporate America and somehow bullied them into submission so hard that they made one of the biggest, dumbest decisions of all time and entered all of the SRD into the Creative Commons so that 5th edition D&D can live literally forever until the end of mankind. I'd say it's a pretty fucking happy ending. I don't think we need to spend a whole hour talking about it. So we're going to talk about the end of Dom's campaign. We just finished Monster Hunter Molten K this week, Wednesday night.
Yeah.
We got the whole crew here. You can't see them, but much like the Holy Spirit, they are with us, just hovering behind us. So Dom,
Hand on your shoulder.
Dom was the DM, and then let's see, Will just make sounds so they can identify what your voice sounds like.
I'm Will.
Yeah, this is Will. There we go. Oh, Dom, are you logged into the Foundry? You could like throw up their tokens when they're talking. There we go.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Just shake them whenever one of us is talking. No.
Well, if you want to show their art, I'll keep them on the screen. There we go. So Will played Kern, and then tell us a little bit about Kern.
Kern was a wild hunt shifter barbarian that reckless every turn because of the strange interaction between barbarian and wild hunt shifter's passive. The whole concept was out of that, and then Kern. I wonder if I mean it's probably Kern was based on the Leshen from Witcher 3 named Kernan.
Oh, very nice. Okay, because that's what the crows were about and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I got it. Okay, and then let's see. Lex, you played as Mariah. So tell us about Mariah.
Yep. I'm Lexaeus 22. I played Mariah Morkos. I don't know. I started really playing Monster Hunter with World, and I played quite a bit of like Gunlance, so that's kind of why I kind of stuck with that weapon for her. And then I just saw like the Celebrity Adventurer Scion as a background, and I was like, all right, this works, and kind of just put those two together and just ran from there.
Nice. All right. Remy, you played Aaron Yeager.
No relation.
Yeah, Aaron's a total MCDM Beastmaster. Yeah, he's a lot of fun. His name's Aaron Yeager because originally he was gonna be a dual blades user, and so I kind of just was like, it'll be cool. And then, man, building a monk sucks. So I was like, fuck this, I'm playing something else. And then, yeah, Dom said I could play Beastmaster. And...
I love that you kept the name. An egg-loving portal named Aaron mounted on Jaeger the Jagras.
Didn't reverse from that at all.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a last-minute switch, and I was like, I'll just name myself Aaron and then Jagras Jaeger, because Jagras is kind of like Jaeger, so I was like, it fucking works.
It does.
When we started this campaign, I was so busy and so tired that when I would make it to the sessions, I would just be so out of it. It took me till I think session 3 to make the connection to the name that, you know, oh, your name's Aaron Yeager and Aaron Yeager, and it was just like it took forever for me to figure it out.
I mean,
Same.
it was 1 second when it hit me and I said it, and I was like, "You just figured out this in already."
Yeah, because like
I think it was
Jaeger
a
is
comment.
hunter, so I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's a hunter. And then Aaron, I was like, okay, it's just it's a weird name for a turtle, but a turtle's a weird type of dude to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't click for me until Dom had made a comment on stream. I'm like, oh shit.
So I like that. It was very subtle. It's very subtle.
I didn't think it was very subtle, but...
Yeah, it didn't hit me until you were mounted and your name was right next to Jaeger, so it said Aaron Jaeger. I was like, oh, okay, I got it. I don't know what episode that was, probably like 4 or 5.
And then I played as Eddie Vincent, and Eddie Vincent. I wanted to play a very edgy character, but I also wanted to I also wanted to knock monsters down all the time. And the best way to do that was to take the Titan Slayer rogue from Valda's Spire of Secrets, and you had to be a small race. Not a lot of things in 5e, even 5e homebrew, not a lot of things require you to actually do anything or follow any actual rules, but this one said you had to be small. So I was looking at the small options, and I was like, I'm going to make a Palico, but I'm going to make him the coolest fucking Palico ever. Because Palicos are always such, you know, they're like kind of goofballs, you know, like comic relief in the background. They're invincible. The monsters hit them and they Team Rocket blast off again into the distance. Yeah. They got cute little costumes on and they dance around and, you know, they're silly, right? But I was like, no, this one's going to be different. This one's going to be just a fucking edgelord. And I was like, I gotta have some really tragic ass rogue backstory for why this guy is not a normal Palico. Like, what happened to this guy? And that's where I kind of hit upon the idea that he's a sole survivor of a really bad monster hunting raid. And then he has he's taken it upon himself to become a hunter because he was kind of a shit Palico. In his mind, and so he decided he would take on the responsibility of hunting now. So yeah, it was kind of fun because I usually play characters that are maybe a little silly, and I was trying very hard to play a more serious character. I think I managed it. I don't know.
I nailed it. I got Nightwing vibes every time.
I was kind of thinking a little more Jason Todd, honestly.
Yeah.
Not nearly that murderous, you kid.
On his best day, he was definitely one of the Robins. On his worst day, he was Damian Wayne. So, yeah. So still an edgelord, but kind of a sad, lame edgelord on his worst days. But yeah, it worked out. All right, so Dom, give us the. Oh, what were you gonna say, Lex?
I had forgotten to mention. Mariah was a fighter, and thanks to Crash's world patch document, they can take 2 subclasses. So I decided to go with Battle Master and Samurai to mix those 2 together. Because I kind of felt it fit her demeanor and kind of upbringing a little bit. So kind of being that battlefield tactician, which I feel like kind of helped us out a little bit.
Really well, yeah. Being able to move people and.
We should definitely do like a round robin on how we felt about the house rules on this no spellcaster game. But I'm gonna have Dom kind of set it up real quick so that anybody that didn't watch the series, because it didn't have as good a numbers as like Rime of the Frost Maiden or the actual published adventures. It's so hard for homebrew. It's so hard for homebrew to get views.
Also, after the first couple of videos, it's kind of hard to like jump in the middle.
Yeah,
we're going there from the beginning, so I understand like the first few episodes probably were a little bit more, and then it peeled off after that. But that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. It was fun. It was a great experimental project too to learn so much about different systems and test out house rules and things like that. So set us up. What was the campaign?
So this campaign was just for me, I wanted to do my first homebrew campaign, and I like Monster Hunter. I like fighting boss fights in D&D. So that was the reason why I decided to do this. And then coming up with it, I was just like, okay, I don't know. Let me just try and make an island, and then figure out what happens in this island. Like the way I came up with this campaign was building out this island first, and then just trying to fit stuff into it. And for the most part, like for this, and you guys went through this, is trying out the Monster Hunter book that Arnold Elwin has made. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of work in there, and like we did the like one shots in the miniseries that I did before, which was just repurposing old Rime of the Frost Maiden stuff that you guys didn't use, and it was really fun. Every time we finished it was like, okay, I wonder what happens if we like actually had a campaign and went through and actually progressed and did the gathering and did the crafting and played Monster Hunter in D&D. And so that was the drive for making this campaign. And overall, I think we did it was pretty cool. But again, and this kind of happened when we were playing Rhyme too, and doing all the what is it, like downtime crafting and stuff like that, like gathering and all that stuff. Is that, you know, after a point it's kind of cool at first, but then after a while when you guys are just, you know, steamrolling through stuff, it gets kind of, you know, kind of bogs down when you guys want to get to the next fight. So overall though, I think it worked out really well, and like this was a good like first attempt that I know that if I ever do this again, I know what things would work and what things, you know, I might pare down and adjust for the next time. But overall though, it was as you can see here, 9 missions total, with, and then I had set it up into 2 arcs, well, three like chapters, and each chapter had side quests, 1 side quest for each zone in it, that you guys could run into.
Nice. Yeah, I liked how we were able to kind of hop around. We did like a little bit of the forest, then the desert, then went back and kind of went between them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that felt very Monster Hunter, the way you set up the island and had it divided right down the middle, and then you incorporated that scar, right, that canyon as you know, the end game area. I will admit I was a little sad we didn't go to the volcano.
Same here.
Yeah, and I honestly thought you were gonna have some coral reef action based on the map. I thought there'd be a little bit of coral reef action, but it wasn't bad because we at least got you advertised it as 10 to 20 sessions, and in that we had plenty of time to become comfortable with the forest and the desert. And I feel like if there had been volcano adventures and coastline adventures, we would have been spread a little too thin. Like we wouldn't have had those moments where we remembered things that we saw out hunting and got to go back to later. Yeah. It would have always been moving forward. And I think part of the appeal of this was getting used to the maps and the different areas, and having that kind of Monster Hunter feel of revisiting the same hunting grounds over and over again. Yeah. So I will say that part of me was kind of bummed because I thought the volcano would come up at some point, and then I kind of saw the way the ocean was pouring into the canyon and stuff like that. I thought there might be some coastal stuff, but I don't think the campaign was hurt in any way by not having it. I think that it gave us a good chance to focus on the other area, on the areas we did go in. So
even amongst desert and forest, the areas were really varied. You had like the cave systems and the plateaus and stuff. Oh, the Narcilla nest, that was very, very nice.
So I have to ask, when you were setting up this Foundry server, you said your first step was to make a map. So you went into Incarnate and you made your own island map, and you let that inspire you for the adventure.
Yeah.
All of your maps were interconnected. Like, if we exited a map on the north, we went to another area. Like, how did you map that out? Yeah, how did you map that out outside of Foundry? Like, did you just have a huge Photoshop file that you were just gonna move stuff around?
It was just folders, and then when I looked at so like I got a what you call it, it's nothing that crazy thought about. I got a map from Afternoon Maps, saw that there was an exit on this side. I was like, okay, what could this lead to? All right, that's the next one on the list in this folder.
Oh, okay. So for Caves of Chaos, it's 16 maps, and they lay out in a 4x4 grid. And so I was almost wondering if you, in like Photoshop or something, had like a big file and you had thumbnails of all the maps so that you could see like a wide view of how all the maps interconnected with each other.
No, nothing like that.
Okay.
I had a folder for the forest, and it the order that they were in was pretty much how you guys can move through them.
Oh.
And then I probably had like a split where like, okay, you go down to this one, and then you can go either this way or that way, and then that's the line.
Yeah, I did not pick up on that because I thought it was the other way too. So
yeah.
You did a really good job of like chaining them together. Like it felt.
And then I thought to remember it, you did something like Benios Maps has, where every map edge had like a teleporter that would remind you, like, oh yeah, this map goes to this map, kind of thing. But wow, I never would have thought that you just had them like in an ordered list and could keep track of them like that. That's incredible.
Yeah.
All right. Okay,
Yeah.
so
And one
Yeah.
thing too is that the monk mod that makes it so that your top bar where all your maps names they have folders in them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
yeah.
I just have the forest folder open, and then from left to right I know the order of the
Interesting. Okay,
Nice.
man.
I had that mod installed for one of my games, but I ended up like not using it as often. So the fact that you're able to actually kind of like keep all that organized is actually kind of impressive, honestly.
Did you have all the maps loaded at once, or
Well,
I had yeah, pretty much at one point I did, and then as you guys like finished off areas and I never had any reason for you guys to head back to them, I would clean it up and archive it.
nice. Yeah, it ran really well for the most part, except for some of the random just weird.
Once
I
I
guess
got the-
memories.
the
when
initial
I-
switch to 10. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
initial system said, yeah.
But
Okay.
even those were short.
So I have to ask, the background art on the page. Did you find this art first
Oh,
and then
yeah.
decide that was going to be the inspiration to split the island half and half, or did you
No.
organically just as you were making the map decide this half will be a desert, this half will be a forest, and then you just
So-
found art to support that?
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna make an island because I'm planning to do this on an island. And then when I did the outline of the island and I put a volcano on it, and I was like, well, I know in world it was like one island with like a bunch of biomes. So okay, I'll put 2 biomes, and I just did left and right and split it down the middle.
Okay, I think it's great. I think it was really inspired. I remember
Yeah.
smiling real big when we logged into play and I saw the map of the island, and I was like, "This is gonna be good." Just off of the map,
Yeah.
I
It's
was
like,
like,
oh,
"Oh yeah, this is gonna be good." He's definitely put some thought into this. This is gonna be good stuff. Yeah. All right, all right. And then the settlement map that you made. I just felt
Ooh.
like, yeah. Can we go to that? Can you activate that one?
Yeah, I'll activate it.
Okay. I just felt like when we rolled up into this town, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm happy I signed up for this.
Production values are high.
Yeah, it
It's
set
a must
it
in a
set the
town area.
it set the standard for me where I was like, oh wow, he made this map. And he has the area here for rampages because you had us walk through. You didn't just like plop us in the middle of town. You had us walk into town. And as we get through the rampage area and it opens up into the town proper, I was just like, damn, like I'm excited to see what he's got planned because this is a lot of love and a lot of care. And it had all the things that you would kind of look for in a Monster Hunter settlement. They got the little farming area. They got a little like town square with vendors and stuff like that. They got the smithy over here. And then even in the town, you see that transition from forest to desert. That theme is still carried
Ooh, yeah, very
through
nice.
the whole map. And I was
Yeah.
just floored, man. I was just floored. I was like, this is a lot of love and a lot of care. And so I was really impressed. So
Yeah, I just want to figure out how they got that boat there.
Well, didn't they explain initially like they crashed?
Yeah,
land or
crash
something?
airship. Yeah, that's usually what they do. They usually crash an airship, and they're like, I guess this is where we're building the town.
Yeah.
All right.
Actually, the true lore about it is that they got it. They came on the beach where you guys landed, and a bunch of hunters and everybody just worked together to pull this boat up and up to here.
Oh
And
shit.
Essentially beached it.
All right.
That's. I mean, you guys are hunters.
Yeah.
But yeah, like when I had that initial idea, looking at the map, the island that I made, I was like, okay, I want them to, learn the forest and hunt the forest. I want them to learn the desert and hunt the desert, and I need to have that dichotomy like throughout this entire thing.
Mm.
And I was like, okay, I need to put the settlement right in the middle so that they can get from both sides, each side to each side. And then I was like, I mean, this is perfect. Like, have this crack in the middle like this, and then like a bridge spanning through the crack, and then they like the settlement's built on top of this
This land bridge, yeah.
this land bridge. I was like, okay, that's a pretty cool idea. And then how am I gonna make this?
Yeah, because
And at
I
first
don't
I
know
was-
if anybody noticed during the game, but if you go to the south side of town, you see where the ocean is spilling into the scar. There's actual waves down here and stuff to kind of show. Yeah, it was.
Dang.
Yeah, the attention to detail is very, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and then I knew that I was planning to do I was gonna have a rampage mission in this, so I needed a map for that.
Yeah.
So
Having the boat overlooking the entrance to the scar, like, so you just see it every time we come into the town.
Yeah.
You see like the final area, and we're just thinking like, oh man.
Yeah. It perfectly captured the whole trope, the whole theme of a Monster Hunter game. You know, like we kind of knew from the get-go where we were going, where we were building up to, and there was always that reminder, and there was always that home base to return to. Just good stuff all around.
by the way, do you guys want to know what would happen if you gave
Yeah, I'd like to know.
Yes.
Yeah, now I'd like to know.
You know,
Yes.
I've been waiting to ask that question. So,
Yeah, this should be that. This should
All
be,
right.
You should drop this and just cut.
All right.
No, no.
Save it.
So this guy right here, he wanted some berries, and
Tropical berry.
oh sorry,
Oh.
that was his competitor. It was this guy. That guy wanted the berries, right? Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So what would have happened if he actually got them?
So if he got the berry, he would have opened up a shop, and that shop would have had normal D&D consumables and stuff for you guys to
Oh
purchase.
man.
God
you get
damn.
You get a potion of resistance.
Oh.
Hey.
What else did I have laid up? I had
he only offered us like 200 gold for this
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
super rare berry that was gonna.
I wish he had been a little more transparent about his intentions, because it's not like we wouldn't have wanted him to set up a store. You know what I'm saying? But
I really admire sticking to the guns though for the whole time.
Yeah, yeah.
Not opening the store. Actions have consequences.
he had oils of slipperiness.
That would help Kurt.
What else did he have?
Potion of acid resistance. I'm telling you, best combo.
Did you have an upgraded map that had like his shop on it, or would he himself would have just had upgraded goods?
It would have been pretty much like him upgrading here would have made like everybody else here now had stuff. So you would have went to one guy for resistance
Oh
potions,
wow!
one guy
Like
for-
the entire economy
Fuck.
was up to this guy. Wow.
Look, this
This was
guy
the
wants me to
linchpin.
give him a super rare berry.
Hey,
He
listen.
offers me
You gotta
200 gold.
trust
It's
Yeah,
not
you
it's
gotta
not just
trust
on
him.
you. There were all kinds of other hunters in town that could have sold this dude a berry. There
Yeah.
obviously was something wrong with this guy if no one else would sell him a
Yeah.
berry.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, look at all the fucking people that are in here. No one gave this man a berry. Commander
Yeah, pull up-
didn't give
pull
this
up
guy a
Flashy
berry.
Hunter.
Yeah.
Pull up Flashy Hunter. She did not give this guy a berry.
Yeah, Flashy Hunter
Nope,
did not
no
give
berry.
him a berry.
Nope.
Nobody gave this guy a berry. So I'm not gonna shoulder the whole burden there. So
These like random side quests. Pretty much what I did was I just any NPC you guys talk to, I just said, okay, what's a random item from the resource list that they can that
oh, okay, okay,
they might ask for that I can use to lead to an upgrade for this element.
fair enough.
There was one NPC that was asking for sleep herbs, and I just had realized that we had gotten sleep herbs like a couple episodes back, and never follow up on that one.
Yeah, I'll be
I
honest.
made sure the
Wednesdays
rock got his
are
deco.
Wednesdays are a rough day for me. So like by the time I'd get here for sometimes I work evening shifts in addition to my day shifts on Wednesdays, and so sometimes I get there right as the game was starting or like 30 minutes after the game was started, and I had nothing left in the tank. So like when you guys are like, yeah, there's a quest, I'm like, sure, I'll do whatever you want. You guys would be like, it's crafting time. I'm like, I hope you guys make me something, but I don't really care. I just don't fucking have it in me to care like what we do. As long as we're out there fighting monsters, that's why I'm here. Yeah, and
I like
so
how you knew
so
what to
the
expect. It's like, all right, we just killed a monster last session. It's like now it's like, all right, we're gonna make some sick equipment, and then we're gonna go kill a monster. So
Yeah.
you knew the cycle. It's like,
I mean,
heck yeah,
honestly,
Wednesday.
That's Monster Hunter.
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
Wednesday,
Monster
we're
Hunter
killing them.
experience. You got like some people who are gonna
Yeah.
be indexing all their gear and stuff like that and melding, and other people are just like, "Yo, I'm just waiting here. When are we gonna go for next?" Quest?
Yeah, then there's
Like,
the
I
then
want
there's
this
the
fast.
then there's the switch axe swag, and they're just like hey, you ready? I'm ready. I've been ready. Are you ready? Because I don't use any fucking items. I don't know anything about the game. I just swing this fucking axe in a circle, and like I'm ready to jump on a monster and like let's go do that. Like that's my Monster Hunter style. I had to dig so deep not to make a switch axe user for this campaign because I just love switch axe like so much. But I actually read every single weapon that Dom made available, and when I saw them fucking twin rapiers that could do elemental damage in a non-magic campaign, I was like, that's what I'm taking. Yeah, that's what I'm taking.
Honestly, that was a good choice.
Probably could have gotten the same effect off of a bow with coatings, and been a lot safer, like a lot safer. But I wanted to try out some of those homebrew rules that we were talking about and some of that A5E stuff to see if a fun melee rogue was actually a thing that could happen.
So you also could do that with switch axe too, you know.
Oh no, I know, but I want to try something different. I want to try. Oh yeah, switch axe as the vials. They could have done elemental damage.
Yep, elemental damage. You can do paralysis damage too.
Oh my goodness, that's my build in Rise is the paralyze switch axe. Anyways, so we know about the town, and we know about the hunts and the cycle, right? The cycle that we're on, which was get a quest, do the hunt, loot, come back, craft, repeat infinitely until campaign is over. So what in this game you knew right away that the 5th Age of Magic just trivializes non-magic users. So no reason to have magic if you want to have good combats. Like, the monsters don't have any magic, so why should we have magic, right? Like, we're here for SmackDown, WWE Raw, like monster hunting. Like, we don't want no fucking magic getting in the way of that. And so you did make this a no magic game, which I really appreciated, because I was, as early as you working on this game, was working on my Curse of Strahd stuff, trying to figure out how can we make a survival horror game in 5th edition D&D. Everybody was telling me, like, it's just not gonna, you try, but it's just not gonna happen. And I took a lot of what I did from what you did for this, as far as like classes that you would allow and things that you were gonna plan and things like that, like the A5E maneuvers and stuff like that. And so we had the challenge as players of how do we make a group that can survive and function that does not have magic. And we had a lot of things to help us. We had the Monster Hunter weapons, which were much stronger than the normal D&D weapons. They were essentially customizable magical items that leveled up with us, which was fantastic. And then we had the A5E maneuvers, which were ridiculous. And then we also had the recent update to the World Patch document, which included a lot of equity adjustments to sort of help non-casters. We had something called True Marshals, I believe they were called, allow them a chance to do more things, right? Because a big complaint of the 5th edition fighter is, who cares if I can attack for 4 times? Like, that's lame. Like, attacking 4 times is boring. Like, I want to do more stuff than just attack 4 times. So we were trying so hard to find ways to elevate those classes. And I think we've been seeing a lot of that in Red Hand of Doom. And then this campaign was just such a showcase of how those rules can really make a 5th edition game with low or no magic really fun and exciting. So
another thing that also helped you guys too was the buddy system with your Palico and your Paladin.
Oh, absolutely, because that was just another set of abilities on top of what we already had. So we were stacked with options.
Saving throws, AoE heals.
All right.
Yeah, I wonder how many times mid-fight we actually huddled up and popped a wire bug.
Oh yeah, quite a few, yeah. And that felt 100% like a Monster Hunter experience. You know what I'm saying? When we're getting our asses just beat down and we're all like dragging ourselves over. And you've all played Monster Hunter and you see that they got that Vigor Wasp, so they're about to pop it, and you hit the button and your character starts pumping their little fist and they're running as fast as they can. You dive through the air so that you can try to get into that AoE heal when it goes off. I was feeling all that, even though this is turn-based. I was feeling all that. So that was really good. I wanted to ask, just quickly, because we're at 30 minutes already. Quickly wanted to ask, for your character for this campaign, what was like one or two of like the top homebrew house rule things that we did that just made your character really fun to play? So I guess we'll just start with Kern.
Oh man, yeah, the tankiness that you can get from these A5E maneuvers is insane. Like this one was my bread and butter to start out, which was the catch your breath. It's like a weaker version of second wind that you can use. So right off the bat, you have 4 exertion points because you have proficiency bonus 2 at level 1. So this is 2 times that you can heal yourself for a D6 plus proficiency plus con, because it uses 2 points. So, and you get it back on a short rest. So you have 2 slightly weaker second winds per short rest, which just it increases the survivability of your low level tanking so much, especially on a barbarian. So I'd say that was definitely probably my favorite thing. Because usually, you know, playing like a tanking class, you've got maybe 1 or 2 healing things. If it's not that, you got to rely on your cleric, or you've got to chug potions. So having like this level of sustain was absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Just start rubber banding.
Yeah, so I could actually keep up. I could heal myself and not have to worry about the rubber band. Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, Mariah, aka Lex, what is like the top 1 or 2 homebrews that we did that you felt made your character very fun to play? Keeping in mind that everything that is not officially from WotC is technically homebrew. So anything from the Monster Hunter rules, from our World Doc, from A5E, from Matt Colville, all of that, you know, is homebrew.
Your extra set of legs that you're riding around.
yeah. The mounts, the everything.
User.
Yeah.
To be quite honest, I would probably say from the patch, it's kind of tied. From the patch doc, having 2 subclasses for fighter, at least definitely gave a lot more versatility to Mariah to be like, okay, I can throw out a couple of battle master maneuvers during this turn, or if I wanted to just go ham balls to the wall, I'm just gonna fucking action surge and fighting spear and just go absolutely nuts on this creature. So having those 2 subclasses was pretty nice. And also the A5E maneuvers. I don't know how you felt, Dom, but once Mariah got warning strike,
oh my god,
Yeah,
so like the
down.
monster could not
So
run
good.
away from her,
Yeah.
and like it was, and then she has reach. So like if they don't have anything that's longer than 10 feet to hit her, like they're just stuck there, just not being able to do anything for their Paragon actions because they can't hit her. Like I don't know how you feel about it being the DM. But
I mean,
like,
I'll let you guys know. Me as a DM, I don't get upset if you guys, you know, trivialize a monster. Like that means you guys, you know, prepared and did your things right, and you guys have stuff to do. So I never get upset about that.
Yeah, Dom's got monsters that you can't trivialize, like the fucking.
Well, there's always more monsters too. There's always more monsters. Yeah.
So like if you guys have a new feature that shows up and wrecks a monster, then that's good.
yeah.
I appreciated it because I didn't want to be chasing these fucking monsters all over the place. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. And I think that I really liked it, especially like we had a lot of ways to like knock monsters prone, and that's so much like the game where you're just trying to get it to fall on its ass and then just beat the hell out of it. And it really helped curate the Monster Hunter experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So-
like you break their parts, it stuns them, so they can't run away from you, and you just like keep them locked down for a while. Yeah.
So transitioning from that, Rami, what was the one or two big things that made your character really fun to play?
I would definitely say MCDM Beastmaster. For the reason of, man, Cavalier sucks in 5e. Paladin, by the time you get Summon Greater Steed, it's trivial. It's already trivialized. Like it's so hard to play like an actual mounted combatant, and I feel like Beastmaster just really brought that together. I'm gonna say 3. So that, and it all kind of goes all into the same thing. The other one is like the feat at level 1. Getting mounted combatant at level 1 just immediately made my class work. being able to like shuffle around and like share our hit pools, and I was able to like stack AC on a turtle that normally wouldn't be able to get plate. And it really worked out really well. And then the A5E maneuvers, specifically having Cavalier esque maneuvers, and that really just put it all together. I don't think any raw game experience could give that.
Yeah.
So solid.
Now, what's cool is that 2 of the things mentioned so far are actually very popular house rules. All fighters getting Battle Master plus an additional thing has been a house rule pretty much since 5e came out. It's been a very, very popular one.
Oh,
and
really?
then of course the starting the game with a feat, even if you're not a variant human. I mean, yeah, like everyone saw that everyone was just making a variant human, and they're like, well, why? And they're like, because the feat. And they're like, well, if I gave you a feat, would you play something besides human? They're like, of course. And so
I'll play an elf.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll play an elf and I'll take elven accuracy. Fuck a you. Yeah.
I feel I love first level because I feel like with
first level's so
5e,
boring.
The character doesn't come together. The class doesn't really come together until like 4th level.
Yeah.
4th or 5th level, anyways. And that feat at level 1, it just really like cements the identity of the character. Kern was really fast, and it just got even more amplified. Just like the campaign went on.
Well, yeah, and Eddie was a chef at level 1. I mean, that made a huge difference mechanically. You know what I'm saying? So.
If you were not a chef at level 1, then you would have always just gotten the you guys probably would have cooked.
And we would have had, because we wanted to save our money for equipment and stuff, yeah.
So. Eventually you got the expertise in chef's tools and never failed to roll again.
Yeah.
But you still had to succeed at the cost a couple times.
So for me, the homebrew that I liked the most was, I loved my subclass from Baldus Spire Secrets. I absolutely loved it. It was the inspiration for the entire build. I just loved the idea. Historically, in the olden days of Dungeons & Dragons, the small races specialized in fighting giants. So the gnomes, the halflings, the dwarves, they all had like racial abilities that were specifically tailored to dealing with giants and stuff like that. And I just loved the idea that they kind of brought that back for this Giant Slayer subclass. And like, Remy mentioned, knocking monsters down. That's a big part of Monster Hunter. And I was like, for most of my career, I could just give up like my sneak attack to knock a monster prone and give everybody else advantage on their attacks and make it waste Paragon actions, economy getting up and things like that. This is perfect. And then the amount of monsters that were in the air half the time and knocking them off of walls and knocking them out of the air and stuff, it was fantastic. So that was probably my favorite thing. Probably in the running would be the weapons I got to use. I thought they were very interesting, and I never even used like the single rapier form. I always had that shit split in half, and so there was even more options for my character that I didn't even need. I had so many options as a non-magic using character in 5th edition that I didn't even need all of the options that I had, which was crazy. The A5E maneuvers were exciting. Honestly, for me, like, it really just came down to the crit fishing one. I never really felt like I got good mileage out of any of the others. But once I got the crit fishing one and just started using that, it was amazing. Like, I've never rolled that many crits in a campaign as a player in my whole life. This is fucking amazing. And then those are the tops for me. There were so many good rules that kind of made these characters so fun to play and play with too. I was just hyped to see all the shit that you guys would bust out in battles. It was amazing. So
I think the thing for Eddie was, since we were kind of getting higher in levels, like actually seeing the synergy kind of pop out, because once you kind of Yeah, a couple of like of your homebrew rules in the patch doc, like okay, you got fast hands and whatnot. Once you kind of got that one monster part that allowed you to do fast hands a lot quicker and then switch out from like one element to another, like I don't know. I found that was pretty cool because like then you can like kind of start experimenting. Like, okay, this didn't work so much. Let's try this. Still within all the same turn, just to like try and figure out what the monster's weakness is, and then from there, then we start exploiting it.
Yeah, it
I
was.
found it pretty cool.
It all felt like we had so many different ingredients, but like a really amazing dish. Like all those ingredients kind of came together in the end, and every character just kind of like was shining by the end, with the different separate rules all sort of coming together and building each other up. It was really nice. It was also nice to play in a game where not a single fireball got thrown. There were no hypnotic patterns.
Yeah.
I didn't have to hear the word fucking guidance. I didn't have to hear guidance shouted every 5 fucking minutes.
There's no bless, no bardic inspiration.
Yeah, it was nice to just like play the game, you know? Like I don't know. It was good. It was a really good experience. All right.
So, for one of the things that I really like, and running you guys through this game and seeing this happen, is seeing how you guys work together with your abilities. Like Eddie being able to knock somebody prone that easily, but then also Mariah taking away their movement so they can't
So they
stand
stayed
up.
down, yeah.
And then Kern making sure that no one can get hit with everybody's. Whenever the monster attacks somebody else, they're always at a disadvantage.
Oh, yeah. And then using the Wild Hunt to have normal attacks against himself.
Normal attacks him.
Yeah.
Like, seeing you guys do do teamwork. It was like,
Yeah, there
Yeah.
was a lot of times.
That's what I
and
wanted to see in this game.
There was a lot of times, and this is a big just call out to active initiative when I knew I saw that like Eddie could go next, the monster couldn't steal, and I would like go through as dire strengths to get him advantage on that next attack for sneak attack. Like it was very dynamic.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was around like 7 or 6. Like
As soon as a monster ran out of Paragon actions, it was fucked. Like it was fucked. Yeah. Yeah.
Around, great sword charging behind it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got to the point where I knew like it would always take forever for my turn to come around because I knew it was being timed so that the monster would be out of Paragons by the time Eddie went, so that Eddie could knock it down, and then it wouldn't be able to get up, and then everybody could just line up and dogpile it as much as they could while it was prone, and things like that. So it was really, really cool to see everybody working together like that. Like Will could have made Kern just the biggest DPS hog in the world with all the rules that we had, but instead he made this very balanced defensive and teamwork based barbarian who really was like the support. Like our barbarian was our support unit in this campaign. Yeah.
If you think about it, the person who did the most healing in this campaign was Kern with his Pelica.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I saw how the movement speed stacked up, and I was like, holy crap! I was like, if I wanted to, I could have like 90 feet of movement speed at level 5 as a barbarian. So you can move people around, you can pick up monsters, you can whereas some people might have to spend a whole action getting over to somebody. I was like, I can use my normal movement speed, get up and heal them. So I also took training in medicine, so I could baby bird people those potions.
Yeah, no, you were the support unit in this party for sure. I thought for sure, I was like, I'm probably gonna end up being support. I'm a skill whore. I like playing rogues to have lots of skills to fill lots of roles in the party. But when I saw that you were taking care of everybody, I was like, all right, I'm gonna really try to focus on getting in there and landing some big ass fucking hits, some real big ass hits, because I know that Dom is giving these monsters a shitload of hit points because they're a bunch of solo monsters, but he's also going to give them at least one weakness, and so I want to figure out if I can what that weakness is so that we can land some big hits. So yeah.
Oh yeah, the best thing was whenever you got the extra elemental different changes, and you could actually run through the whole gauntlet of elemental damage looking for that weakness.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Towards the end of the campaign, it became pretty much time attack trials of how fast we could down these creatures.
Yeah. And it was just so unbelievably tanky with being able to you could redirect hits to yourself. And what was your final? What was the max cap you could make your armor class?
25.
Yeah.
That is impressive, dude.
Yeah.
Like, so you could just block that, transfer it to you, and then block it, and then
And then
Mariah doing some.
That's
so much
100%
damage.
why I went Turtle. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
also too, all the attacks would be going after him would be at a disadvantage because of Kern's
Yep.
Yeah.
thing too. And then
Yeah.
because Jaeger's a monster, of course the monster's going to attack the other monsters before they attack the hunters. But then he just switches over to him and protects him. You guys had a really good like setup.
Yep.
To hunt.
Yep, we had
Yeah.
support with Kern. We had area control with Mariah. We had tanking with Aaron Yeager, and then we had DPS with Eddie Vincent. It was a perfect party. It was just a perfect
Yeah.
party. Yeah.
We had some.
I think it's crazy too how
insanely
well it
low
worked
roll
out
numbers.
because like, man, I think we all just showed up with some characters.
Well, yeah, because we didn't meet up ahead of time. We didn't meet up ahead of time to plan it. Like, we
Well,
organically
you
kind of
know,
grew.
Casters, it's like I guess just don't play what I'm playing, please.
Yeah, the only
Yeah.
thing we coordinated were weapons.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we still ended up with all melee weapons. And
Yeah, that definitely
we were
was.
so persistent that we stuck with it.
If we're doing a post-mortem of things that didn't go well, it was definitely none of us going range. Like
I
that
don't
was
know
a.
about that. I had
Oh,
shells.
true. Yeah,
Mm,
They didn't do a lot of damage.
Did
but
you
they're-
though?
I mean,
What?
after that Diablos though, they
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Once I got to that Diablo's part, that's what actually made them, worthwhile. But
Yeah.
All
I
right,
had
so
to
we're
almost
so
die.
we're at the 45-minute mark. So we're gonna go back through. We'll start with Kern, go through the four of us, and then Dom will finish it. But everything that happened in the campaign, what was your favorite like scene or session or fight or boss
Instantly.
that happened? Oh,
Instantly. The subversion of expectations, where you get to the Jagras and you expect it to blow, like eat somebody and roll around, right? But
Yeah.
It's also got other things that it's doing, like it was like a king or whatever, and it's like really protective of its people. And then you get to these baggies, and usually it's like you're fighting a great baggie, like you're 2 hours into a Monster Hunter game, you're just trying to move up, like you're moving up, you roll past it, you don't even farm a great baggie really. And then this great baggie, we roll up on this guy. No, we roll up on these baggy guys. We kill like one of them, and then the crew shows up, and we just get JoJo beat up for solid 3 hours.
that
Like,
was the
oh,
first. That was
that's it.
honestly the first time that we were like kind of stopped in our tracks, right? Because we were doing really well. Like every fight, every session, we were just gonna get out there and kicking some ass, And this was the
I
first
don't
time
think
we got bodied. This was like the first time we really got
We
bodied.
did get super bodied, but
It was
like
so
the first
amazing.
like 10, 12 sessions, Dom was just rolling so crazy.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And it was right after Extra Life, so there was the sad backstory theme going into it.
Oh, yeah.
Dom explaining their character motivations and their backstories, like while we're fighting them, was flawless, amazing.
Man. All right. Yeah.
Take a mold, man. Take a mold.
Whew.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the random adjectives, yeah.
All
There's a whole
right.
story there.
Mariah, what was your top moment, top pick from the campaign?
I don't know if I could say top moment, but honestly, I think the big deeps. Shit, what's that mission? The mission, the attack on the settlement.
Yeah.
Oh, the rampage. The rampage.
Yeah, the rampages. Like, okay, the first one, it didn't go as well as planned
hmm
for us, but when we got to the other side of the Diablos, I wasn't expecting that.
And when you kill stole their Diablos, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like that was crazy. And then like even when we started going to like some of the other regions, like okay, we may be a little bit over level to it, but like just running up on Fire Stork, beating the crap out of it in like 2 rounds, running up on Odo Garon, beating it up in 2 rounds, like that was just nuts, honestly, because like again, it's just martial classes, but we're just like throwing these big ass damage numbers around, like with no abandon. Like I don't know, it was pretty cool, honestly.
All right. What about you, Aaron? Jaeger, Remy, what's your top from the campaign?
Man, I don't know. It was good. I really liked the roleplay. To be honest, like we came in with these characters, we didn't have a lot of thought, and like it just kind of came out really organically for all of us. I
Yeah.
guess I guess if I had to pick like a single scene, probably meeting the Wigglers and convincing them to join us. I really enjoyed that a lot.
That was
Oh
pretty
man.
funny.
Glad you did.
Aaron just dancing along with them.
This is a really weird and a really old, like, dated poll. But all right, so Disney's Alice in Wonderland. There's the story about the walrus and the carpenter, and they stole all the oyster babies and all that shit. Like, and then they took them home and they ate them or whatever. Like that was Aaron to me. Like he was just like this like. He's just telling these wigglers that he's got a better life planned for them and to come with him and all this. And like Eddie Vincent, I was asking myself as a player, I was like, you got to respect the character here. How would he really feel? Would he try to stop him? Would he like get involved? And then I thought about the Gajalaka that he like basically knifed to death in the desert and everything else. And I just this is a creature, Eddie Vincent, that has nothing but like hatred for monsters in his heart because they took everything from him. And even though he's a monster, like he kind of hates himself a little bit. Like he's just so like he just sees you like just putting all these baby wigglers in a picnic basket, and he's just like fuck them, And I was just like, damn Eddie, all right. That's why I don't play edgelords. Because you made my heart hurt. You made my heart hurt, Eddie Vincent. Like, what the fuck, man?
No, my favorite thing is the absolute range of characters, and then you've got Mariah showing up as like the Rick flag, the Rick flag of the crew.
But how did I get stuck with this Suicide Squad team?
It was fantastic.
Yeah, I really liked how like our characters just came out.
Yeah.
It was great.
All right, my favorite part of the whole campaign. Damn. I mean, I really like Val Hazak as is one of my favorite monsters. So I was pleased as hell to see him as the final boss, for sure. So I was like very excited about that. Man, I think that my favorite scene of the thing, other than killing the Val Hazak, because that was fucking dope as hell. But I think it was when we were just bumbling around and we found the Hermitar. And we were just fucking scared shitless. We were just scared stupid. And it's like running around, knocking us down, climbing over things. And we're just going in all directions. We got this stupid sled with us because we're supposed to drag the fucking bear off back to town. And it was just like, oh my god, what a clusterfuck this is. And it felt very Monster Hunter. It was like when you are low hunter rank, and you encounter something that you are not ready for, and you think maybe, and then you're like, no, and then it's you're wondering, is it too late? Am I gonna make it? Yeah, that's definitely how that felt. Yeah.
Diablo's skull as a shell.
Yeah.
And we're like, maybe we can try it. And then the air lands. It's a DC 18 strength for like 50 damage.
Yeah.
For half, and it's like, nope, we can't.
Yeah, that was so. And then to come back later.
Intelligence turtle was like, we gotta go.
It's a good thing you did it on those.
And it was definitely the most challenging fight. Even when we did rank up and come back for him, I still feel it was probably the most challenging fight.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, because we really like pushed hard to get through that one. So yeah, like I thought that was really good.
That initial barrel encounter too, pretty challenging.
Yeah,
I like that. So yeah, definitely good.
All right, so Dom, what was your top scene that happened?
Oh wait, we gotta do Mariah, right? Or no?
Oh no, we did. We went. Yeah, we went in order. We went in order. Yeah.
Let me see. I really enjoyed the Hermitar fight. You guys, the actual fight you guys did with the Hermitar. Like, not the first time you met him, but the second time when you
the rematch.
The rematch.
Came looking for him.
Yeah, but let me think here. I think I would pick the Hermitar fight as the one. Because it was a close battle, but you guys like worked together. Like you guys were like, you were on the edge, but I did not feel like you guys were gonna lose. I felt like you guys were. It was like a close wire, but
I at least thought we'd burn 1 or 2 fate points. I thought we'd at
We had
least
a
burn
while
1 or 2
there
fate points.
where
Yeah.
Kern was doing so many supporting actions that I couldn't deal with the crab that was slowly dragging me into the water.
But we still had 2 palicos. We still had 2 palicos for that fight. Because we still had Toots with us. So I think that healing, if we didn't have both of the healing companions, I do think we would have burned at least 1 or 2 fate points on that fight. Like the math on it, I definitely think we would have limped across the finish line on that one.
That was the one fight that it got so bad. I actually got off of Jaeger and was like, "Look, it's not safe for you here, man. I'm going like."
And all right, a follow-up question to that, Dom. What was one monster that you thought the fight was gonna go one way, and that shit went the complete? Okay, I knew that was the answer.
Yeah, same deal.
I was shocked. I was shocked. I was like, oh, motherfucker on the ceiling, he's a ninja. Oh, damn. He's so strong. Look how big he is. Oh, and then
picks up Kern. He's using Kern as a shield.
Yeah. And then it was just crit. Yeah. And I was just, and he just was like, pa, dead. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? I was like, Dom's got to be heartbroken. Dom's got to be a little heartbroken over that. That is ridiculous. Because, like,
I think that was turning level 5, right? That was when we were level.
No, we were like 6 or 7, I think, at that point.
I think we were like 6.
That was the 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we all got like our
that was the quest that turned you. That was the quest that turned you to 7.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I feel like we were rolling up. We had all these abilities like fresh out the gates, and yeah, it just the dice were with us.
All right.
Like as badly as we got beat up by the Great Baggies, we beat up the Odaka.
Yep. It was a complete reversal. Yep. We had the dice that time. Yep. All right. So, real quick round robin. So what is something from this campaign that you, if you were to DM, or would want to use in a future campaign, or if you don't ever plan to GM, if you just plan to play, what is like the one thing you'd like to take from this to a future game? And then, in addition to that, what was one thing that if this was to be done again or over again, what is one thing that you think would make it even better? One thing that you could change or improve, or a suggestion? So start with Kern.
So yeah, definitely, I think this shows that you can make quality marshals in 5th edition. You just need to have a shit ton of homebrew supporting it, and maybe not as many casters. I don't know, but I feel like, so, like in other campaigns where you've got magic and like the A5E improved marshals, you definitely see this improvement. So I'd say if you added anything, I feel like a campaign, if I was going to add anything, it would definitely be the A5E maneuvers. I feel like it opens so much. Like versatility, so you've got like all your marshals are battle masters, and they're actually doing something more than just I smack this person. They have some other identity. And then one thing to change.
Or it doesn't have to be change. It could be change or add to improve.
Okay. I mean, honestly, the only thing is just add a quick swap once per hunt. You get to quick swap your weapon once per hunt. And you can't swap back just once. I think that would have. Would you be willing to pay a hit die to swap your weapon? I would give like 3 hit die or something.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah.
All you guys need to do is take a short rest.
Yeah, but it's think about the.
But once we're fighting the monster, we don't want to run away and then find a place to short rest and then have to find the monster again.
We were playing 5e.
Yeah, but in Monster Hunter, I could also be sloppy and just get carted away by some cats. You know what I'm saying?
And also, that was part of the reason why your Palamutes got that tracker ability. Because once you got in a fight with it, if you guys need to run away,
that was our pay. Yeah, okay.
You can switch weapons and find the monster instantly.
It's like, yeah, but
all right, that's.
I can't just solo play D&D for 12 hours at a time like I can in Monster. I don't care how many times the monster runs away in that, but in D&D it's like that's like 3 sessions, so it's like I want to kill it and then next monster.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Sentinel as a player or as a GM. I think it's very punishing mechanic, but for this campaign, I did not want to spend extra sessions just fucking running through the woods chasing down the same monster and then risking your random encounter table and running into other monsters while we're trying to chase on the first monster. Again, in a Monster Hunter game, sure, yeah, like, but in a tabletop, timing is a totally different thing. So,
Yeah.
all right.
I don't know, man. If I know you had done it in the mini series, but the clashes between the two monsters,
man.
we didn't
Oh,
really
yeah.
see any of that. So
That's
that
true.
would've been cool. That
Yeah,
would've
that's
been
true.
Yeah, none of the monsters really got a chance to run away to like go into another monster's zone.
Mhm.
cool. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I
Should've
could have
been.
just had the monsters walk into their zone. So
So,
I think about that next time.
all right. So Lex, what is your what would you take from this? What would you want to see that you saw here again in future games?
I mean, you're already kind of doing it for the most part, but just like the solo boss Paragon monsters, like that's kind of like one of the bigger changes that I've had to do, because like some of the other games I play in kind of still do like, you know, the normal legendary action creatures, but like this kind of opens up a floodgate of like what the creature is able to do, maneuver around, has a little bit more like flexibility. So just kind of like playing in that was a lot. It was kind of cool, honestly. I think that's probably one of the cooler things of, especially, and it definitely fit like the Monster Hunter vibe of like these creatures being a lot more agile, a lot more like customized to like how they're attacking.
So
and stuff
varied,
like
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's like I can lock down attack rolls, but you know these monsters, they got some saving throws, some weird
yeah.
like, cleave abilities, like they got tons of stuff.
Finding out Hermitar could AoE ground pound every single time. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
oh damn, okay.
Or
in
also
trouble.
even like the telegraph thing, like in our final fight against the Valhazak. Like
Oh,
it's
true.
it's
Something's happening.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
something's happening. Like you've seen those, a couple of those boss fights in Monster Hunter, like the Xenojiva, like when it's doing like its little star burst thing, or like fucking Behemoth when it's about to like explode or whatever, and you have like a couple of moments to like get out of the way. Like that was, seeing that kind of mechanic was definitely cool.
All right. So what would you
and then
change? What would you change or change or add to improve?
I think we kind of did it like the second to last boss. I think there was a Narcilla, but like the minion rules, like for some of the ads, I don't think we did it earlier on in the campaign, but kind of adding that in was for just like whenever it summons creatures to its side. I think that's probably the only thing I would like. If we had had more of that would have been kind of cool.
Yeah. Like maybe if those baggies had been minions, it would have been a different experience.
It would have made that fight a little bit more manageable.
Yeah. All right, fair. All right, Remy, what thing from this campaign would you want to keep seeing in other campaigns?
I think mostly just that like Monster of the Week style like can really work if like the monsters are designed really well and it stays interesting. God, I'd love to see it in Pathfinder. What I would change? Wow, Kern took mine.
Well, it's okay if it's the same thing twice. That just means it's that important. Yeah.
Man, it's just like, yeah, like I get it. We can leave, but like
We're not leaving.
we're not gonna fucking leave.
No.
We didn't give the shopkeeper a fucking berry.
Yeah.
We'll get TPK'd before we fucking leave and like go get better weapons for the fight.
100%.
Like,
We will burn all our fate points, and then we will switch weapons.
Well,
Maybe.
I mean, even if
The
you're
way
hella
Alpha switches is in a new
vulnerable,
character.
right? Like in the game where you're you have to sharpen, right? You have to keep sharpening. You have to keep reapplying, coating and things like that. If there was a thing where you just like for one solid round, your speed is 0, you're switching out your weapon, all attacks against you are at advantage. I mean, really punish them for changing out the weapon. They lose a hit die,
They catch on fire.
Yeah, like make it like steep, but I'd still think it would be a nice thing for them to be able to switch between two different weapons during a fight. Yeah.
One of the other reasons why I didn't want to do it is because your weapon has so many magic properties to it that if you're walking around with 2 of them, that's like 4. That's like if they're both rare. Like at the end, you probably had enough things to get 2 rare items, and you have two items that are rare with 2 six versions of monster parts in them. Plus
Yeah.
your armor.
Well,
So then, like, hey, if you could-
you make it that the active weapon is the only one that's providing any buffs or benefits. Like you
Sure,
would, yeah,
sure.
yeah.
But that means you become so much more versatile.
Oh,
at
yeah,
that point.
fair. Yeah.
I just say let you swap once. Maybe
Yeah.
once
Yeah,
for
maybe.
a limited
Yeah.
period.
Yeah, maybe once.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. All right. Let's see. The thing that I would take from this, and I'd want to see in other games, it's tempting to say active initiative because I've been using active initiative so much, and in the games, where I use it, it always creates a more exciting and more interesting combat. It is. I just can't seem to sell it to my Prime group, for example. Like they're just dinosaurs. Like they started with that and they're gonna finish it. Yeah, they started with that. They want to finish with that, and
we got a couple bad eggs.
yeah, and they're not bad. They're just old.
Aaron, no,
yeah.
just an Aaron pun.
It was a pun.
So like, but I could also live without it. Like I really don't care one way or the other if there's active initiative or steady initiative. Like, I mean, as a player, there's steady initiative. I know I've got plenty of time to go get a snack, take a piss,
Mow the lawn.
yeah, walk the dog, whatever. Active initiative, I know that there's going to be a lot more excitement and a lot more strategy and a lot more engagement. So, yeah, that's definitely something I'd like to see in other games. But if I were to continue running 5th edition D&D, I would definitely keep my World Patch document, which has the A5E maneuvers in it and the equity changes to help marshals, and I wouldn't stop using it. After seeing the proof in the pudding, as it were, of Red Hand of Doom and of Dom's Monster Hunter, I just feel like I could never go back to forcing people to play raw non-casters and just have them be so inequitable to their spellcasting counterparts. I just couldn't go back to that. So that's definitely what I would take from this. Would be that. Things that I would change, or things that I would add. I definitely think that this, like Remy kind of mentioned it. I think that this being so combat centric and so map centric, right? So VTT centric, grid based combat. I think that it would be absolutely phenomenal in Pathfinder 2. I think it would be absolutely phenomenal. I don't think you'd even need all the crazy bullshit that we had, because you could probably you could probably even allow spellcasting, because their spells aren't very good in Pathfinder 2. They really they really are just, they're just like a different flavor of melee or range.
So,
yeah.
Like when that's when we started getting into Pathfinder server, and that's why the first question I asked is, how do they do monsters in Pathfinder?
Yeah.
Because that will be the way. That'll be the learning. That will be how I transfer this into. So I wouldn't mind having normal D&D or normal tabletop or fantasy tabletop Pathfinder D&D, whatever it is, with spellcasting and stuff like that. But I need to know how to design a monster that fits, will be fun to fight.
My experience is just that that if you, once you get to like 4th level spells or higher in 5e, like it all just kind of starts falling apart. Like the equity gap becomes so huge. Like third level spells. All right, you're flying. That's pretty dope. There's a fireball here or there. Haste comes on, online. That's pretty cool. You got the hypnotic pattern you got to worry about. That kind of sucks. But overall, it's all manageable. You get to 4th level and God forbid 5th level spells, and your game is just falling apart at that point. And so I wouldn't blame you at all if you ran this again in 5th edition and did not allow spellcasters again, or you allowed multiclassing into spellcasters, but you could never gain spells higher than 2nd or 3rd level. So if people wanted a splash of magic, right? If they were playing the dragon people or whatever, right? Like, yeah, it'd be cool if they could have some cool anime spellcasting effects and things like that. But even then, you're reintroducing the shield spell, which is a +5 to armor class. That Aaron Yeager dips for shield spell. Now he's got a 30 armor class. I think that your decision to get rid of the magic was the right one. But I think that if you wanted to have the flavor of magic, you would be best running it in a system like Pathfinder 2. I think that this is perfect. Yeah.
I also think
I want to know how do you homebrew a monster in Pathfinder?
Yeah.
That's what I want to learn.
Yeah.
Like-
I also think that if you want to do still all martials, I think you could accomplish it a lot better in Pathfinder because there's
Right,
a lot more
because the
classes
the medicine skill like alone is the main source of healing from what I could tell in the game, anyways.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it would be a very cool experiment. As far as boss monsters go, I guess there's some kid named Nonat that plays Pathfinder 2e, and he and his friends made a book. And then there's Nemesis monsters in there, and these are apparently like the Giffy Glyph Paragon monsters of the Pathfinder world.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, so I'm very curious to get my hands on that material and see it for myself. He describes some of the higher level monsters as being 4 pages long with multiple phases. Like, I think that each page might represent a different phase of the monster, but yeah, that sounds kind of cool. Sounds pretty exciting. All right, well, we are past time. Did you have any closing remarks?
Yeah, I was gonna talk about the things that I would wanna, what I would want to take from this.
Oh yeah. Sorry. So yeah.
So I think the thing that I would want to take from this and put it into other games is a monster hunting weapon. Marshals. So having a marshal, find a weapon and have it level up with them, being able to put stuff in it, customize it to their playstyle. I think that's really cool because the marshal is their abilities and also their equipment.
I actually have a supplement from DM's Guild that has that. It's called Ancestral Weapons, and there's a whole point buy system for customizing the weapons. We used it in the first Red Handed Doom and Skills of Wargame. Yeah.
So that's something I would definitely want to take from that I got tested out here and move over into a different game.
Yeah.
And then add and change. It's a hard add. I guess change is I want to figure out a better way of doing gathering and how that works. Because I always felt bad when you guys roll up on a scene and there's 5 different nodes and I'm just asking you guys to roll a bunch of d20s.
I mean,
more involved or more
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I mean, how do you guys? I guess let me ask. How do you guys feel about it? Was it fun to just roll up on a scene and then well, where's Waldo the nodes and then roll a bunch of d20s?
I thought Where's Waldo was fun.
Nodes.
Yeah, I thought that was fun.
I mean, rolling all the d20s is kind of. I could take it or leave it.
Yeah.
I think what you could do is you have a set amount of nodes that you put on a scene, and then they roll 1 dice to see how many of those nodes they actually find, and then just go have a preset if they find this many nodes, this is what they get, and then we still get to roll to see what we find, and then we still get stuff, but it's just not all right. Here's 20 d20s.
Another thing that you could have done is instead of marking them on the map, which was very Monster Hunter, and the Where's Waldo part was pretty fun. It was very good for engagement and sort of pseudo-tactilism of interfacing with the map. You could have just said, once a map is clear of threats, you guys can use your skills to see what you find on the map, right? And then based on how the skill, the ranking of the skill, right? So if we got a 15, there's if you got 10, you find one plant resource with your herbalism skill. If you got a 20, there's 2. If you got a 25, there's 3. And then if you have equipment that doubles those numbers or triples those numbers, then that after you roll and determine it, that triples. Now, hit this little macro button, kids, and that will spit out into chat the items that you find. So you get that sort of tactile experience still of like, you know, dink, 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 and then the screen pops up and says you found an earth crystal. So you could do something like that, where it's entirely theater of the mind of how many resources there actually were on the map. And you might even say, if you are willing to spend, if you spend 10 minutes, you roll the check normally. If you spend an hour, you get to roll the check with advantage. And that's the only way that you can get advantage on the check, is if you do it that way. And then I feel like that would also encourage the people in the party to divide the skills up evenly and not worry about double stacking the skills. Because if you can't aid another, and there's only the one way, you know, the only way to do it is spend a whole hour. And of course, the caveat is that every time an hour goes by, you roll for a random encounter. So they risk getting caught up in a hunt that maybe they weren't ready for if they are greedy for the resources. So like, yeah, that could be a cool way to handle it. And then the tactile aspect is just clicking the button to spit out the resource. So then you're still quote-unquote rolling a bunch of 20s, but you don't have to reference it to a chart. The table just does all the work.
Well, on the for the resources, I had a table. So
yeah.
I had you guys roll a skill for each node. But yeah, I think that's better. Like, instead of having nodes on the map, you guys say, okay, you know, roll to see if you can find bones, and you have to roll the bone skill.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'll do that next time, if I do this next time.
Yeah, sounds good. All right. Well, we went a little bit over our normal time, but it was good to get to hang out one more time, talk about this amazing campaign. I hope everybody has a good weekend coming up, and we will be back next week to talk about something else. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to talk about next week, but we'll talk about something. All right. Hope everybody has a good night, good weekend. We don't really do any announcements. Everybody knows we do a lot of stuff on the server. We got all kinds of stuff going on. Does anybody have any announcements they want to shout before we adjourn? Anything?
I do.
Okay.
I gotta jump over to Rhyme, so.
Yeah. I'm sorry you're late. All right. So go watch Rhyme of the Frost Maiden. All right. I'll talk to everybody later. All right.
Cyberpunk on Tuesdays.
Oh yeah, Cyberpunk on Tuesdays, Pathfinder on Tuesdays. We got so many games.